Welcome back to Guess What Day It Is. Today, we got to do something about this mess. So this is the workbench many of you have seen in just about every single one of my videos. It was basically came with the house. It serves its purpose pretty well. I usually am able to keep it relatively clean and organized, but with the flow of things that are going to be coming through here with the new antique store, it's going to be critical that I make this as efficient as I possibly can. So what I'm going to do is build me a little bit of a wing. So this is kind of the back side of my garage. So I've got just a little bit of a push out. It's about, I don't know, 8 feet or so. I've got my toolbox over here. Put down in the comments if you want me to go through my toolbox at some point. So what my idea is to have a checkout area and have it in this little wing area. So basically, I'm going to pick up from right here, bring it all the way out to the edge of this wall, and set it up so I have different test points. So I'll have a house stereo that I'll use to test speakers or to test different components. I've got test speakers that I can use, and also be able to test different video equipment too. We're going to have VCRs, we're going to have DVD players and all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to have a place that's dedicated to check that stuff out as quickly as I can, and then the rest of the workbench can be dedicated to actual repair. And I've acquired a few more tools as I've gone through, adding electrical stuff to my repertoire. All this stuff needs to find a home. It just kind of was organized and just laid over here as time has gone on. It's just become a mess. So as part of this wing, I think I'm going to add a small toolbox that will be under the workbench. So that's kind of the plan. So all the stuff up here will go away. This monitor will go away. I actually found a really cheap TV that might be a great solution to checking out Ataris. And if you don't know why it's a challenge to check out Ataris, check out the video up there and we'll kind of go through that. So anyway, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to do some design work. What I'm contemplating now, so I added some outlets a while back. I'm thinking about either coming out this far, right to where that outlet is, but I would really like it to be deep enough to tie in with that 2x4. I think this tool bench is movable. It does not look like it's permanent or screwed in or anything like that. It's not going with me when I move or anything like that. So I think we're just going to make whatever permanent. It's not going to be really easy to move. Another thing I have to worry about is the miter saw fits perfectly under there. I have no other place to put it. So with the toolbox, if I can roll it from underneath, if I have to get the miter saw out, that would be fantastic. So trying to maximize the space. I really don't have much room in here. I'm very fortunate that I can pull 3 vehicles in my garage. I want to keep it that way for sure. But yeah, let's tear into it and see what we can figure out. So here is the completed test bench. So we should have everything except for one more component that I bought that isn't here yet. And that is a RF demodulator. So what that's going to allow me to do is to test Ataris or older video games and computers that put out RF signal to channel 2, 3, or 4, or whatever that may be. So basically I've got a stereo, known good working stereo. This is a Fisher. It's actually kind of nice. It's got individual transistors instead of a transistor pack. So, I mean, I think it's kind of serviceable. Works well. I really should clean it. It's not really too bad. This is part of my dad's collection, but it's an excellent platform for me to do testing. We've got a phono input, so we can test turntables. So I've got the dim bulb tester mounted, so it's out of the way. We've got that plugged in down here, which that power was already there. I've got a very nice protected power strip. It's got plenty of expandability. So the way I have it set up, speaker A output from this goes into this little switcher, and then that switcher goes to these two little Sony speakers that I've got. They're not very good speakers, but I don't really care if they get blown up. And then the other side of this switcher goes to two speaker leads that I can use when testing receivers. So if I have it in switch 1, position 1, that means that it's going to that receiver. If it's in switch 2, it means it's going to whatever stereo I have on the bench at the time. And then these two are to speaker B. So what I can do is test speakers on the bench as well. So all this makes it easy, so I don't have to pull the receiver out and plug stuff into the back side of it. So that's very helpful on that side of it. We've got a RCA adapter changer. I don't know what you want to call it. They don't make these anymore, at least not that I'm aware of. I was really hoping that this would have a demodulator built into it, because it does have some connectors in the back that kind of made me think that, but of course that wasn't the case. So anytime I do any video equipment, I can plug in here, which goes to the TV, so I can do checking there. So the demodulator will also be plugged into this, so I can switch between the two of them. So that should get me just about as quick as I need to be on that. So kind of have the toolbox set up that way too. You guys are saying, why is the macro guy buying a Craftsman toolbox? Well, I happen to have gift cards to Lowe's, and this is the exact size that I was looking for as far as the width. As you can see, this is the front of my wife's car. I don't have much room. And once again, this really, trying to utilize the space I have, it really works well, but I have to be efficient. So you see, this is the background that most of you guys see in my videos. So that really won't change that much. So I've also added a turntable, or not a turntable, but a Lazy Susan, which makes it a lot quicker to hook all this stuff up and all that as well. I've got a pretty good selection of common tools I need up top. I've got a spot for all my cords for interconnecting. I've got cleaners and such down here, so I can have easy access to that. And just general storage. I just ran out of storage space. I mean, I've got this big old toolbox over here, but it is plumb full. So it's good to have a little extra storage. So the goal is to have this cleared most of the time, so I can do quick checkouts on stuff and get that to the booth as quickly as possible. And then that way I can have repairs going here. As you can see, I'm kind of going through some of the different things that we have. That worked out pretty well. So I can have, you know, something torn down here, but still have plenty of room to do checkouts over here, so we can keep stuff flowing. So ratio is 2 out of every 3 things I've checked so far are working. So that's really not too bad. Hopefully I don't have to dive into a lot of stuff, but so I think that's going to work. One little frivolous thing that I did, gotta have the camel there too, by the way. That's a gift from my daughter many, many moons ago. If you don't know the story behind Guess What Day It Is, if you all have seen the commercial for Geico where you got the camel and my name's Mike, and of course when that commercial came out, everybody said on Wednesday, Mike, 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 guess what day it is? So as a play in that, my kids make fun of me on that all the time, which is kind of our little inside joke. But I was like, let's name the channel Guess What Day It Is, and let's have a camel as the mascot. So, and that camel intro is drawn by my very talented daughter as well. So one thing I added that I found at my dad's house is this little IKEA light strip. It is purely just, I don't know, I just thought it put it in somewhere, so kind of goofy, but hey, maybe that could be an addition to the background when I do my filming too, so who knows. So that's the new workflow. I think it's going to work out pretty well. I've been using it this morning. I'm going to probably do some short videos on some of the stuff I'm checking out. I'm not probably going to be doing any in-depth repairs just because I don't have time to do the filming on that. My goal is to get this stuff fixed and out on the showroom floor as quickly as possible. So that's just the plan going forward. So there we go. That's going to do it for this video. If you have any questions about any of this stuff, let me know. None of this stuff is really groundbreaking, but it seems to be working pretty good for me. So, you know, feel free to leave a comment if there's something that you see that I could improve as well. And once again, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Remember to hit subscribe, hit that like button, and we will see you next week on Guess What Day It Is.